Tonight, we're diving into the terrifying tale of a wrong number that turned into a deadly encounter. What starts as a simple phone call quickly spirals into a nightmare you won't soon forget. I'm your host, Big Jim. Welcome to Chilling Encounters. Here, we bring you the scariest stories that will send shivers down your spine and make you question of what really goes bump in the night. But before we dive into tonight's chilling tale, I've got something special for all you horror fans out there. We're giving away a classic Friday the 13th film. Want a chance to win? Here's what you need to do. Subscribe to the channel, or make sure you're already subscribed. Hit the like button on this video. Drop a comment below telling us which favorite Friday the 13th film you love the most. It's just that simple. Now, without further ado, let's get into the story of the scariest wrong number you'll ever hear about. This is one call you don't want to miss.
The storm raged outside with rain pelting against the windows in relentless sheets, accompanied by the low rumble of thunder. Emily sat curled up on the couch, a cozy blanket draped over her legs, a steaming mug of tea in her hands. She was alone in the house for the weekend. Her parents had gone on a short vacation, leaving her in charge of the place. It wasn't her first time being home alone, and usually she relished the solitude. But tonight, the storm gave the house an eerie, unsettling atmosphere. The soft glow of the television illuminated the living room as Emily flipped through channels, trying to find something to distract her from the unease that seemed to creep into her mind. She settled on a lighthearted comedy and tried to immerse herself in the movie. Then the phone rang. Startled, Emily jumped, her heart skipping a beat. She glanced at the wall clock. It was almost midnight. Frowning, she reached for her phone on the coffee table, expecting to see her parents' number, or maybe one of her friends checking in on her. The caller ID displayed a number she didn't recognize. It wasn't unusual to get wrong numbers now and then, so she dismissed the slight anxiety building up in her chest and answered. "Hello?" she said. There was no response, just the crackling sound of static on the other end. She waited a moment, repeating herself. "Hello?" Still no answer. She hung up, feeling a little uneasy, but brushed it off as someone dialing the wrong number in the middle of the storm. It could have been interference from the storm affecting the connection. She put her phone down and returned to the movie, but her concentration was broken. The nagging feeling that something wasn't right lingered in the back of her mind. A flash of lightning lit up the room, and she shuddered involuntarily. The phone rang again. Emily stared at it, her stomach tightening. The same unknown number appeared on the screen. She hesitated before answering, her voice barely above a whisper. "Hello?" This time, there was no static, but she could hear breathing, slow, deliberate breathing. Her pulse quickened, and she felt a cold shiver run down her spine. "Who is this?" she demanded, her voice trembling slightly. The breathing continued for a moment before a low, raspy voice finally spoke. "You shouldn't be alone." Emily's heart pounded in her chest. She immediately hung up and blocked the number, her hands shaking as she did so. Her mind raced, trying to rationalize what had just happened. Maybe it was some prank caller trying to scare people on a stormy night. But she couldn't shake the dread that had settled over her. She got up and checked all the doors and windows, making sure everything was locked. The house felt too quiet now, the kind of silence that was suffocating. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, and the storm showed no signs of letting up. She sat back down, trying to calm herself. It's just a prank, she thought. There's no way anyone could get into the house. The phone rang again. Emily's breath caught in her throat. She didn't want to answer, but her eyes were drawn to the screen, and her blood ran cold. It was the same number, blocked, yet somehow it had called again. Her hand trembled as she picked up the phone. "Stop calling me," she shouted into the phone, fear making her voice crack. There was a pause, and then the voice came again, lower, almost a whisper. "I'm closer than you think." The call disconnected. Emily felt like she was going to be sick. She rushed to the front door, yanked it open, and peered outside. The driveway was empty, and there was no sign of anyone. The rain pounded against her as she looked around, the dark street empty and desolate. She slammed the door shut, locked it again, and backed away, her mind racing. She needed to call someone, anyone. She grabbed her phone and dialed 911, but before she could press the call button, her phone vibrated in her hand. A new message notification popped up from the unknown number. With trembling hands, she opened it. "I see you." Emily's breath hitched as she realized the message had been sent along with a photo. She clicked on it, her heart hammering in her chest. It was a photo of her front door, taken from outside, in the pouring rain. Her hands went cold as she heard something behind her, a faint, almost imperceptible sound, like a door creaking open. She slowly turned around, her eyes wide with terror. The basement door was ajar. She knew she had locked it earlier. She was sure of it. The phone rang again. She didn't want to answer, but she knew she had to. She brought it up to her ear, her entire body trembling with fear. The voice on the other end was barely audible over the sound of her own heartbeat. "Don't turn around." But it was too late. Emily screamed as she felt a cold, clammy hand grab her shoulder from behind. The phone slipped from her grasp, clattering to the floor. Her scream was drowned out by the roaring thunder as she was pulled into the darkness. The phone continued to ring, but this time, no one was there to answer it. The storm raged on, the house eerily silent once again.
And there you have it, folks. A chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest calls come from much closer than you'd ever want to believe. But this is just one tale in a world full of mysterious encounters and unexplained events. Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows of your own home? Or what happens when you dare to investigate the unknown? If tonight's story sent a shiver down your spine, just wait until you hear the next one. In the incoming episodes, we'll dive even deeper into the darkness, uncovering secrets that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the world around you. But what if I told you the most terrifying experiences aren't just in these stories? They could be happening right now, closer than you think. Do you have the courage to find out? I guarantee you won't want to miss what's coming next. Stick with us, and together we'll explore the unknown, pushing the boundaries of fear and curiosity. You'll become more than just a listener. You'll become someone who dares to confront the shadows and discover the truth behind every chilling encounter. So go ahead and binge watch the rest of my videos, if you dare. But remember, once you start, you might find it very hard to stop. Until next time, stay curious and stay brave, but most importantly, keep hunting those haunts. I'm Big Jim, signing off.